I think the first tip is that you really need to try and work out how best to stand out from the crowd. When you are putting forward your applications, you've got to remember that you're up against intense competition. Law firms really like to see that you've done your research, that you know a little bit more about the firm than just the usual, maybe bog standard information that you can get off their own website. Great things for doing that is maybe setting up a Google alert of the chosen firms of your choice. You can then get up to date with all their latest and hottest news and be able to either talk about it in an interview or put something down on an application. Another top tip I would say is staying current. And what I mean by that is firms like to see obviously lots of examples of your achievements that you have done throughout your time in getting to where you are now, but remember those things that are as recent as possible. People like to see diversity as well, so if you've got examples of working in a team, make sure you've got good examples of working independently as well, and make sure that you're able to just expand on those as much as you can when it comes to interview stage. Don't just rely on what you've put on your application. People like to hear a little bit more about what you've had to say. In terms of what we at Taylor Wessing particularly like to see in candidates is that we really want to see a good commercial awareness that is shown throughout, not only on an application but also examples of that given in an interview scenario as well. And what do I mean by that? It's about keeping on top of what's happening in the world around you. You don't have to know the total ins and outs of everything that's going on in the world, but you do need to know what's hot in the press right now, particularly what's impacting businesses and the global markets, and staying on top of that. Best things to do for top tips of keeping on top of that as well. Obviously there's lots of access to media and newspapers that you can get hold of, but also actually if you look at other firms' websites, if you look at the articles that they produce which are for clients, so they're structured in such a way that clients can read and digest this information, you'll see what they think is the latest and hottest news in the current markets, and you'll be able to have a view on that yourself.